So why am I always tired?
Okay, well, there are a number of reasons, quite a lot of reasons why someone might be in a constant state of feeling tired or fatigued. The first place to start is looking at the stress response and the hormonal response to stress. So that would be the cortisol hormone. So ideally, when we wake up, we would wake up with high energy and a high cortisol level. That's what our genetics and our bodies are designed to do. And then gradually, as we go throughout the day, the natural drop off of cortisol would come towards the evening, which would allow us to relax and get a good night's sleep. And that doesn't happen for a lot of people, because what happens is that we encounter stress on a daily basis. Now, stress isn't always bad, and in fact, when we go back to kind of caveman days, the stress response was life-saving. So it's your fight or flight response. So back in those days, if a bear was going to come and try and kill you, you would want, that's the stress response you want, because it gives you a shot of adrenaline. It immediately gives you some kind of energy to exercise. So you'd either fight the bear or you'd run away as quickly as possible. And the cortisol response would allow us to do that. It would then come right back down and the caveman would get on with his day. What happens in today's society is that we're exposed to that bear all day, every day. So to give you an example of that bear, so we wake up in the morning, the kids are driving us mad, we've got deadlines, we've got to get them to school, we've got to get them to work, then on the way to work we get stuck in traffic, stress response, so our cortisol levels are up. Then we get to work, the people at work have either annoyed us, we haven't got a deadline in on time, or the boss, cortisol response is high. And this goes on throughout the day, and we've got a constant level of high cortisol stress hormone. So what this does, it wears out our adrenal glands, and it's called adrenal fatigue. So when we get to night time, we've been on a high level of alert and stress all day, and we still continue to be in the evening, especially because we're eating processed foods, which can have a negative impact on it as well, and that affects the sleep quality. So then we don't have adequate levels of sleep, so we wake up tired. We have a coffee to make sure our energy levels are back up, so we're relying on stimulants as opposed to our natural adrenal glands to get us there, and this kind of cycle continues and continues until we reach a point where the body is really fatigued. The adrenal fatigue has kicked in to such a level, and the health, as well as feeling tired, obviously this has health implications in terms of the low-lying levels of inflammation that are caused by this elevated level of cortisol. Can lead to all sorts of diseases in terms of the cancers, the heart diseases, the cardiovascular diseases. Stress is probably the number one underlying cause of many, many diseases out there. So what we can do to combat this stress response is to first of all start thinking about the nighttime activity and reducing that stress that we've had throughout the day. Try and get as good a night's sleep as possible. We maybe need to supplement with vitamin D or magnesium nighttime to try and alleviate the stress response. We look at nutritional changes in terms of reducing the stress from our nutrition, so reducing the sugars, the starchy carbs that are adding to the problem, and then we'd start to look at an exercise regime that would complement everything that we're doing from a supplement and nutrition point of view.
Thank you.